Hello, Kehilat Tzion, Yom Yerushalayim Sameach. We're in Erev Shabbat, Parashat Bamidbar, and this week we read in the Haftarah of Machar Chodesh. We don't read the Haftarah of Parashat Bamidbar, but rather the Haftarah from Sefer Shmuel that starts with Yonatan telling David, Machar Chodesh. Tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh, and we read this on Erev Rosh Chodesh, because Sunday will be Rosh Chodesh. And in the Haftarah, we see the special relationship between David and Yonatan. And we see how Yonatan tries and goes out of his way to help David, to help him escape from his father. But first, he wants to really understand that really his father has such a strong grudge against David, and that he is really willing to actually harm David and maybe even kill him. It takes a while for Yonatan to understand that. But when he understands that, he helps David escape. And at the end of the Haftarah, they hug and cry. But surprisingly, after all this friendship, it says, Ad David Higdil, that David cried even more. Rav Medan explains the crying of David more than Yonatan, explains this because maybe David at that moment expected Yonatan to come with him. And maybe he was disappointed, maybe even a bit offended that Yonatan, after helping him so much and helping him escape, stays with Shaul and sends David on his own on this very difficult escape on his own to the desert. And we know what a hard time David had during this whole unfortunate period when Shaul was chasing David all over Yehudah. It was a very, very difficult time for David. And David wanted Yonatan's support, and Yonatan helped him up until a point. What is it with Yonatan? Yonatan is caught up between two different people. He has two separate relationships. One with David, his dear friend, David that he realizes will be the next king, David that he is faithful to, David that he knows that the truth is with David. David is in the right. But he is also a son. He is a son to Shaul HaMelech. He knows Shaul is the king of Am Yisrael. He knows that he is the son of Shaul, and he respects Shaul, and he's there for him, and he will not leave him, even in this time where Shaul really is on this downfall, morally, and in his behavior, and in so many different aspects. This is really Shaul starting to descend, and Yonatan sticks with him. He sticks faithfully to Shaul. But it's a very special way of sticking to Shaul. And it's a very special way of showing friendship to David. Today, we see many times in the conversations, in the discussions in Medinat Israel, that things are divided according to who you belong to. Are you a right-winger? Are you religious? Do you live in a certain place? And according to that, one can say, what are your opinions on all the different topics that we have to deal with in Medinat Israel? And if you dare to speak against something that happens within your group, your sect, it means you've probably left everything. Yonatan doesn't fall for that. Yonatan manages to see that Shaul is problematic. Shaul is in the wrong. Shaul is really going to the wrong direction, and Yonatan helps David. He knows that David is in the right. He knows that David will overcome Shaul. And in the choice that Yonatan makes to help David, but to stay with Shaul, he manages to keep both ends. He is, first of all, Yonatan ben Shaul. He is there to support his father. He is there to go to the battles with Shaul against the Plishtim, to save Am Yisrael again and again from the Plishtim, but at the end, unfortunately, to lose his life for Am Yisrael together with his father. He will not abandon him. He is part of Shaul's palace. He is part of Shaul's household. He will not leave Shaul. But that doesn't mean that he has to participate in the wrongdoings of Shaul. That he will not do. He does not chase David in the desert. He does not make sure that Shaul can catch David, but rather, even though he is so faithful to Shaul, when there's a wrongdoing, is out there helping David. And that is the special trait from Yonatan and something that we should all be able to learn from. Being truthful, being moral, to be able to look at the weaknesses and the strong points of the places that we belong to and we identify with. And still, it doesn't mean that the minute we realize a weakness that we have left where we belong. This is Yonatan, loving and caring of Shaul, and still the best friend of David. Shabbat Shalom.